Stan Lee has always said one thing.
You could be any kid.
Yeah.
You could be black. You could be Asian. You
Right.
could be Indian. You could
Right.
be anything, and imagine you were in that costume.
Right.
So I think that made it relevant to everybody everywhere.
Anyone can wear the mask, no matter where you come from, whatever time period you're in, or what social construct you even fit in. Across the Spider-Verse doesn't just understand that concept, it perfects it, and it makes it the soul of that whole movie. And that's why I think it's the best Spider-Man movie ever. No other Spider-Man film has captured that sort of concept as perfectly as Across the Spider-Verse does. And I'm going to show you exactly how it pulls that off. Now I know this may be a hot take or whatever you want to call it, but this movie is the perfect Spider-Man movie. And that may be solely my opinion, but I will give you the reasons on why I think this movie is perfect. The music, the characters, the comedy, and the timing of everything. And not to mention the animation. I mean, clearly, what else will we talk about, you know? It just makes it a perfect movie. All of those things combined together, it doesn't lack in any category for me. And that's just how I feel about this movie. Gwen Stacy is the first perspective that this movie gives us, and that's not by mistake. Her story is about what the mask does to you and the people that you love. You can see it immediately, the way that she hits the drums, that aggression and rage and that release. That's someone that's carrying something that's too heavy, the burden of the mask. She loves being Spider-Gwen, but it cost her everything. Her father, her peace of mind, eventually Miles. And the trauma underneath all that, watching Peter turn himself into the lizard just so that he can be special, just like her. That guilt never leaves her. The mask saves people, but it can also break you and the ones who love you the most. And that's what makes her relationship with her dad powerful, is that they're both facing the same choices. Every day Gwen chooses between the mask and the people she loves. And in that moment that she reveals herself to her father has to choose between the badge or the dad. Two people who love each other that are both trapped by their sense of responsibility towards the public and towards each other. This movie has some of the best writing that we have seen. I'm going to keep iterating that throughout this whole video, that this movie has some of the best writing that we have seen in a Spider-Man movie and just in movies in general. She carries the burden that every Spider-Man can understand. And that's exactly what this movie does better than any Spider-Man movie that we have seen. It shows us that no matter who you are, that weight that you feel from the mask, it feels the same. We obviously can't talk about an Across the Spider-Verse movie without talking about Miles. He's obviously a great character in this movie. It's not up for debate. His conflicts help define what kind of Spider-Man he is now and what he's going to be in the future. Less than 30 minutes into this movie, it is said that Miles is a blank canvas and he has to choose between being Spider-Man or his future as Miles. The therapist specifically says, "You can't have your cake and eat it too." And Miles says, "Unless you bring 2 cakes." This is foreshadowing. Later in this movie, he is given the option to save his dad or save everyone else. And of course, as he has stated earlier, he can do both. He can have both cakes. He can have his cake and eat it too. This movie's writing is peak. You're not understanding. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm telling you that this movie's writing is some of the best writing that we have seen in a Spider-Man movie. But you're not listening though. But that's okay. We're not done. We still got a lot more to go through. You gonna realize today. Miles' conflict with Miguel and the Spider blah 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 blah. Okay, right. Miles' conflict with Miguel and the Spider Society split Spider-Man into 2 responses: logical versus emotional ideology. Of course, ideally you want to save everyone as Spider-Man, but logically you have to anticipate loss and you have to make difficult decisions. Every Spider person has accepted canon events because logically that's the way that it has to be. They wouldn't be who they are without certain deaths, and certain people wouldn't be alive without those deaths also. But as a human, as Spider-Man, you can't accept that. Just because something is fated doesn't mean there isn't a 1% chance of change. Spider-Man doesn't save everyone, but he will always try. Spider Society isn't wrong for accepting these events, but that acceptance cost them something. It cost them that core belief that you will never stop trying as Spider-Man. Heroes are human. They get broken after so many losses. They lose themselves. Sometimes they even become villains. Miles hasn't reached that breaking point yet, and rather that being seen as a weakness in this movie, it frames it as the purest version of what Spider-Man is supposed to be. He's not fixing his canon event, he's fixing a system that has forgotten why Spider-Man would even put the mask on in the first place. Responsibility. At the end of the day, you still have the responsibility to still try as Spider-Man. Even if fate says that you cannot save everyone, you still have the responsibility to try. It's always what Uncle Ben has always talked about. This movie's writing is peak. I'm trying to tell you, you're not listening, but that's okay. We still got things to go over. This writing is peak. Miles means so much personally to me as a character. He looks like me. He thinks like me. He carries the same ambitions that I would love to carry. When I watched that leap of faith in the first movie, it was one of the best moments of my life because it was a reminder that that leap is always worth taking, even when I feel uncertain, even when everything else feels uncertain. I still haven't taken mine yet, but starting this channel, making this video, putting myself out there, that's my leap of faith. So with my last video, that was my leap of faith. So I guess I have taken that leap, but I still want to stay in that version of myself of taking that leap. So when I see a character even exhibit something like this in a movie, it means that much more to me because it inspires me to be who I am and not be ashamed or be scared of the failure that could come with being who I am. And that's what you should do. Take that leap of faith as Miles did. Miles inspires me, and that's exactly what Spider-Man is supposed to do as a Spider-Man. That's what any Spider-Man is supposed to do. They're supposed to inspire you to get out there and be yourself and take that responsibility of if you can do something about your situation, you can change your situation or somebody else's situation for the better. You take that responsibility and you ensue that, you know? That might not be correct. That might not be the correct word. Miles and Gwen's conflict is one of the most heartbreaking parts of this movie because neither of them are wrong. Miles is very naive, yes. He hasn't seen what Gwen has seen and lost as much as she has. But Gwen isn't just following the Spider Society's rules. She's protecting herself. She's already lost Peter, someone who got too close to the mask and died wanting to be like her. That scar has never healed. So when she gets close to Miles, she does the only thing she knows how to do. She pushes him away. She chooses the system over Miles, but it's not because she doesn't care about Miles, but it's because caring is what makes her scared the most. They're star-crossed in the truest sense. Two people who understand each other perfectly and can't reach each other because of everything the mask has taken from them. 10 out of 10 writing, man. I'm just trying to tell you, man. Like, let's lock together. Spot? Who the hell is Spot? Is such a great character. Not because of the development of his character, but the development of his importance in this movie. Spot is one of the most underrated parts of this movie solely because people focus on how powerful he becomes and miss what he actually represents. Just like anyone can wear the mask, anyone can have that bad day that turns them into what the mask shouldn't be. Spot didn't wake up wanting to be a villain. He was a nobody who lost everything because of Miles' leap of faith, and that loss consumed him. He wants Miles to feel what he feels. He wants justice, but he's so deep into that pain that he can't see past it. That's not evil. That's a person who never got their Peter Parker moment. Nobody handed him responsibility when the universe gave him power. And that's the dark side of anyone can wear the mask. Sometimes the mask finds someone who's already broken. Miguel O'Hara is one of the most tragic characters in this movie. People miss that just because he's the antagonist. He has everything that Spider-Man is supposed to have. The power, the responsibility, the dedication, but he's lost the thing that makes Spider-Man who he is. The spark. The belief that you never stop trying. Miguel has had nothing but loss. The only moment of happiness he's ever allowed himself to have ended in a whole world collapsing. That's something that can completely break you. So he built a system that can make sure that that never happens again. But here's what's sad. He's not protecting people anymore. He's protecting the system. And Spider-Man was never meant to do that. Miles still has that spark, and Miguel can't stand that he has that, because somewhere underneath all that loss, he knows that Miles is right. Spider-Man should never stop trying. Just because Spider-Man doesn't always do both, doesn't mean that he shouldn't try to do both. And again, that's what makes this conflict between Miles and Miguel so good. It has an approach of a naive look of superheroing versus an experienced look that has seen loss and what being naive does to them. Someone who feels that they can't be happy because the one time they were, it all went wrong. You have to look at it the way that Miguel does. And at some point, every Spider-Man gets to that point. But what does Spider-Man do after that point? He gets reminded that with the great power that you have, it comes the great responsibility. You still have to try to save these people. Just because, it's written doesn't mean it's all said and done. And that's what Miguel has to realize during this part of this movie. And then there's Rio Morales, the unsung MVP of this entire movie. While everyone's arguing about canon events and the fate of the multiverse, this woman is just trying to make sure that her son knows that he is loved. Her speech to Miles is one of the realest moments in this movie, and in any superhero movie that we've ever watched. She's been protecting Miles his whole life, but not with webs and not with powers, but with her love and with her presence. And what she's really saying is that the world won't look out for you the way that your family will or yourself will. And that's nothing but the truth. You need to cherish those people. And if you don't have those people, you cherish yourself. And that's what this movie understands more than any other Spider-Man movie. Behind every mask, there's a person who needs people. Miles has Rio, and Rio reminds us that anyone can wear the mask, but nobody can wear it alone. That's why Across the Spider-Verse isn't just the best Spider-Man movie ever made. It understands his soul better than anything else ever created. I love this movie, and it gets so much love, but I don't think it's enough. I will glaze this movie for eternity. I love it so much. It has to be my top 5 movies, generally, movies ever created. It came out 2 years ago, and I really can't stop thinking about how peak this movie is. This movie understands the soul of Spider-Man better than any movie that we have gotten about Spider-Man, any project we've gotten about Spider-Man. And in a 2.5-hour movie, it does it so well. All right, it is the big 2 o'clock and I am finishing this video. I did want to give some final thoughts because I kind of feel like I missed some points throughout this video. And also wanted to make a different outro because the outro I made for the original script was trash. It just didn't make sense to end off like that. But one of the biggest things I really wanted to touch up on is the relationship between Miles and Rio and the things that she says. So the whole thing with taking care of that little kid who, when they tell you you're not supposed to be there, and that literally happens in that movie, it just makes it some of the best writing in this movie, genuinely. So I just feel like I should touch up on that and just, I want y'all to take inspiration from that, and don't let nobody tell you where you can and can't be. And you may hear this across the world, right? And it may be easier said than done. Trust me, I know. I can keep saying it, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot harder. But don't let anybody tell you where you can and can't be. It should never be like that. You should aspire to be wherever you want to be and it should be just like that. That's where you want to be, so that's where you're going to be. So this movie just completely relies on real life, because it's not even just a real life thing. It's a history thing. As black people, as me being a black man, there are a lot of places that people are going to tell me that I shouldn't be in this position, I shouldn't be at this job, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And that's just the way that history has implicated it for our race and for any minority as far as that point. So whenever Rio is saying these things of don't let these people dictate where you can and can't be, it isn't only just about Miles being Spider-Man, or I mean you have to understand that she's not even thinking about him being Spider-Man. It's about him going to big places like the college, and how the therapist or the counselor, that's what she is, she's a counselor, on how the counselor is telling him that he needs to have a story to get in that college, when he really doesn't, because his grades are good. There are some things that he's lacking in, but at the end of the day, his grades are good. So he shouldn't need a story of being a struggling black kid and things of that nature, where you have to sit there and make up stuff, and stuff that's been already stigmatized towards us and stigmatized towards minorities, to be in the place that you're supposed to be. So that's one of the biggest things. This movie's writing is great. I will keep reiterating that and keep reiterating that. Another thing, I think that's really it as far as the Rio thing. Don't let anybody determine where you're gonna be. You're the only person who can determine where you're gonna be. Great, I touched up on that. I also wanted to say that this video came out a little late. It was really supposed to come out on Sunday or sometime last weekend. So the same day I uploaded the Sasuke video, it was supposed to come out 2 weeks later. So in accordance to me being late, I am going to be uploading another video this week, and it will be a top 5 Ippo fights in the show. It's gonna be like, it won't be too long. It won't be too long a video. It might not be as long as this one, but that's my next video. It will be this week. I am stamping that. If God forbid, something happens to the point of where I can't upload that video, but I will not let anything get in the way of that. That is the next video that's coming, so look out for that. I'm so excited to make that video. I just finished watching Ippo season 1, and the fights will all be from Ippo season 1, so I cannot speak on season 2 and season 3. So Ippo season 1, best fights of Ippo season 1. So it's gonna be like kind of a funny-ish video, but it's kind of still gonna be an analysis video. But other than that, bro, shout out to the people who have been supporting me. I have been seeing some crazy support on the Sasuke vid, bro. Shout out to everybody that was there and came from there and are still watching from there. And bro, it means so much to me that y'all take time out of your day to even watch my video, and then to even like my video and then comment on my video. It means everything to me, and I will never take that for granted. So again, Hajime no Ippo video this weekend. It will be no later than Sunday. I'm stamping that. That's where we're staying at. It will be no later than Sunday. But other than that, it is your boy Trebo, and we are out, baby. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video this week. One last thing I forgot. Brand new, apparently there's supposed to be a brand new day trailer coming out this week. If that comes out this week, that video is getting uploaded same day. I will expedite that one over everything. It will either come out same day or like next day, but I will be shooting for same day. I will record and edit that video expeditiously and get to it. So possibly 3 videos this week. Brand new day will not have that much editing on it. It's just me looking at the trailer, me reacting with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And all my Spider-Man fans. So potentially 2 Spider-Man videos this week, and How'd you make no April this week? So be excited, bro. I'm excited. I'm so excited for brand new day. And if anything, I'll probably do a review on that because I'm just a Spider-Man guy. That's just me. That's me all day. So, you know, as you see with this video, that's it. Love y'all. Fuck with y'all, bro. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to earn it, but hey, whenever you feel free to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That's it. We out.